Have you ever felt like the universe was speaking to you? A random coincidence, a thought you couldn't shake, a stranger's words that felt meant for you. What if I told you those weren't accidents? What if every moment you've ever wished for something, the universe was already listening, waiting for you to ask the right way? Because here's the secret. It's not enough to want something. It's not enough to think about it. The universe doesn't respond to vague wishes. It responds to clear, intentional energy. And right now, most people are sending out static, mixed signals, doubt, desperation, fear disguised as hope. And then they wonder why their manifestations fall flat. If you've ever tried to ask for something, love, money, healing, meaning, and felt like nothing happened, it's not because you weren't worthy. It's because you didn't ask in alignment with how this reality works. This isn't magic. It isn't superstition. It's ancient wisdom buried beneath centuries of noise. And once you understand how to speak the language of the universe, everything changes. You stop chasing. You stop begging. You start receiving. The first truth you need to understand is this: the universe doesn't hear your words. It hears your energy. You can say 1,000 affirmations a day, but if your energy is rooted in lack, fear, or desperation, the only thing you're attracting is more reasons to feel those things. Think about it. Have you ever begged for something so badly it hurt? A person, a job, a miracle. Notice how in those moments your energy wasn't aligned with receiving. It was saturated in absence. The universe mirrors you, always. It doesn't judge you. It doesn't punish or reward. It reflects what you are in this moment. And what you are is the energy you radiate. So if you ask for abundance while radiating fear of not having enough, you'll keep living in scarcity. If you ask for love while believing you're unworthy of it, you'll attract situations that affirm your unworthiness. It sounds cruel, but it's beautiful, because it means you hold the power to shift your experience by shifting your frequency. But how do you do that? How do you ask for what you want in a way the universe responds to? It starts with clarity. Most people don't truly know what they want. They think they do. But what they're chasing is often what others told them to value: status, validation, control. And so their desires are scattered, conflicting, and rooted in ego. The universe responds to clarity, to precision, not just in what you say, but in what you feel and believe. When you get crystal clear on what you desire, not what you think you should want, you begin to align your inner world with that outcome. And alignment is everything. Take a moment right now and ask yourself, what do I truly desire? Strip away the expectations, the comparisons, the shoulds. What does your soul long for? Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's a wild adventure. Maybe it's deep, unshakable love. Whatever it is, claim it. Not with desperate grasping, but with quiet certainty. The next step is to embody the energy of already having it. This is where most people sabotage themselves. They ask for something while emotionally living in the opposite. They say, I want abundance, while feeling anxious about money. They say, I want love, while feeling alone and bitter. The universe reads your vibration, not your vocabulary. So you must become the emotional match for your desire before it arrives. If you desire abundance, embody gratitude and sufficiency now. Notice the wealth of what already surrounds you: beauty, breath, moments of ease. If you desire love, cultivate the energy of connection, warmth, and self-adoration now. Not because you're pretending, but because those states are available to you regardless of external circumstances. And as you live in that energy, you magnetize more of it. Visualization is a powerful tool here, but not the kind where you simply imagine a car or a house and wait. The kind where you feel the reality of your desire as if it's already yours. Engage your senses. How does it feel in your body? What do you see, hear, taste, and touch in that reality? Not someday. Now. Your brain doesn't distinguish between imagined and actual experience when emotion is involved. This is why visualization works when done with emotional charge. You're not convincing the universe. You're rewiring yourself. The third key is to release attachment to how and when it arrives. This is the paradox. You must want it fully, align with it completely, and then detach from it entirely. Because obsessive clinging is rooted in fear, in control, and control kills flow. The universe moves on timing and routes your conscious mind can't predict. Often, the very act of letting go creates the space for your desire to enter. Think about times in your life when something you wanted finally arrived, not when you were chasing it, but when you'd surrendered, when you'd stopped obsessing. That's not a coincidence. It's alignment. Your surrender signals trust, and trust opens doors frantic effort keeps shut. One of the simplest yet most powerful ways to ask the universe is through the language of symbols and ritual. Humans have done this for millennia because symbols bypass the logical mind and speak directly to the subconscious and the unseen forces that shape experience. It could be as simple as lighting a candle while holding your clear intention in mind, writing down your desire in the present tense, and burning the paper as a sign of release, placing an object somewhere meaningful as a reminder of what you're calling in. These acts aren't superstitious unless you believe they are. They're tangible ways to bridge the inner and outer worlds. Another overlooked truth is that you must create space for what you desire. Energetic space, physical space, emotional space. You cannot manifest new relationships while clinging to old wounds and resentments. You cannot receive abundance while hoarding scarcity thoughts. If your life is packed with noise, clutter, and half-hearted obligations, there's no room for what you truly want to land. This is why sometimes desires manifest only after a breakdown, a loss, a release, because space was finally created. So ask yourself, where am I still holding on to what no longer serves me? What am I afraid to release, even though it's blocking my blessings? This is the inner work no affirmation can replace. It's not easy, but it's clean, pure. And when you clear the soil, new things grow without force. Your relationship with the universe is not a transaction. It's a conversation. And like any meaningful conversation, it requires honesty, presence, and the courage to listen. Most people only speak to the universe when they want something. But imagine if you only reached out to a friend to beg for favors. Would that connection feel alive, nourishing, sacred? The universe is conscious, a field of intelligence beyond comprehension, and it responds best to relationship, not manipulation. Cultivate daily moments of connection. Gratitude is not a trick to manifest, but a natural expression of awareness. Silence is not just as absence of noise, but a space to hear what moves beneath thought. Notice the signs, the patterns, the whispers, because they're there, guiding you, nudging you, responding in ways your mind might overlook if you're too busy chasing outcomes. This is the art of alignment, of asking not just with words, but with being, of becoming the living embodiment of your desire before it arrives. And in doing so, dissolving the illusion of separation between you and it. Now that you understand how to align your energy, clarify your desires, and release attachment, there's one final, often overlooked truth about asking the universe. The answer doesn't always come in the form you expect. And that's where most people get it wrong. They're so attached to how it should look that they miss the signs, the detours, the opportunities disguised as endings. When you ask for growth, you might receive discomfort. When you ask for love, it might come through the ending of a relationship that was keeping you from something deeper. When you ask for abundance, it might arrive through a loss that makes space for a greater opportunity you hadn't imagined. The universe responds, but it does so from a higher intelligence than your conscious mind can access. That's why trust isn't optional, it's essential. Trust that what you asked for is making its way to you, even if the road looks nothing like you expected. Trust that your soul knows what it is called in, even if your ego resists the packaging. Trust that delays are not denials. Sometimes, the detour is the manifestation. Another crucial aspect is understanding the law of resonance. Everything you desire already exists as a potential reality in the quantum field. Infinite versions of you are playing out infinite lives in infinite possibilities. The way to collapse those potentials into your physical experience is through resonance, which means becoming the frequency match for the reality you seek. When you think about what you want, don't ask if it's possible. Ask who you would have to become to naturally experience that. Not pretending, not faking it, but gradually shifting your inner state to align with that version of yourself. If you desire deep, soulful love, how would you treat yourself now? If you desire abundance, how would you walk through your day now? If you desire peace, what would you release today? This isn't performance. It's recalibration. And the more consistently you live in the energy of your desired reality, the faster it materializes. Not because you're forcing it, but because you're dissolving the barriers that kept you separate from it. One of the most powerful practices you can adopt is speaking to the universe as if it's a close, trusted friend. Not as a distant, indifferent force, not as a vending machine for your wishes, but as an intelligent, responsive field that's already surrounding you, within you, watching over you. Speak aloud your intentions. Say thank you for what's already on its way. Express your fears, your doubts, your awe. Build a relationship. Because manifestation flows through relationships, you'll start to notice that life responds, numbers repeating, random conversations that deliver the exact words you needed, a song on the radio that speaks directly to your situation, a door slamming shut only to lead you to exactly what your soul was searching for. These aren't accidents, they're answers. But most people miss them, not because they're blind, but because they're too obsessed with the outcome, so fixated on what should happen, they miss what's already unfolding, too focused on the finish line to notice the signs scattered along the path. You must become fluent in the quiet language of the universe, in symbols, synchronicity, and subtle energetic shifts, because the universe is always speaking. The real question is, are you listening? One of the most sacred practices is giving thanks before the miracle arrives. Anyone can say thank you when the blessing is in their hands, but true alignment is whispering, thank you, for what has not yet come, with the same reverence as if it were already yours. That's not wishful thinking. That's not delusion. That is energetic precision. That is what collapses time between desire and reality. When you feel gratitude in advance, you raise your frequency to match the experience you're calling in. And the universe, in perfect symmetry, mirrors that back. But don't mistake this for bypassing. This isn't about pretending you're not hurting. The fastest way to delay your manifestation is to fake a frequency. Don't silence your fears. Don't bury your grief. Bring them into the ritual. Say it with trembling hands if you must. I want this, and I'm afraid I'll never have it. Help me believe. Help me release. That's not weakness. That's the truest form of power, vulnerability in motion. Because it's in your rawest honesty that grace rushes in, clarity rises, and the answers begin to show up without being forced, hunted, or chased. The universe doesn't require you to be perfect. It requires you to be present. And if there's one universal truth echoed in every ancient mystical tradition, it's this: what you seek is already seeking you. The very fact that a desire lives in your heart, there is evidence that its fulfillment exists somewhere in the fabric of reality. Your task is not to chase it. Your task is to dismantle the walls that block it, the doubt, the shame, the inherited stories that taught you to settle, shrink, or stay silent. Every day, you make a choice to believe the old voice or to build a new one. And with each limiting belief you dissolve, you'll feel it. The magnetic pull of the impossible moving toward you. Because here's the paradox. The moment you stop chasing what you want, it starts chasing you. Not because you're forcing it, but because you've become a match for it. So tonight, just try this before you fall asleep. Ask the universe for one clear thing, say it aloud, write it, feel it. Then visualize it as if you're already living it. Feel the ease, the joy, the peace. And as you drift into sleep, let it go, no grasping, no doubt, just trust. In the days that follow, stay awake to the signs. Listen for whispers, follow the nudges, even if they make no logical sense, because logic only understands the past. And what you're calling in belongs to the unknown. You are not separate from this universe. You are a thread in its fabric, a vessel of the same intelligence that spins galaxies and stirs oceans. When you stop begging and start embodying, when you stop waiting and start aligning, when you stop shrinking and start remembering, the universe will respond in kind, not with tests, but with truth. So here's what I want to know. What's the one thing you're ready to align with? Starting tonight, leave a comment below and name it. Claim it. Declare it. Let the act of writing it be your signal to the universe. I'm ready. And if this message stirred something in you, if it made you feel seen, remembered, or aligned like this video, and subscribe for more truths like this, because your awakening isn't random. And the fact that you're here, reading these words, right now, it is no accident. You are not here to beg for scraps from the universe. You are here to co-create it. And the moment you remember that, everything changes.